Imagine you walk into a bakery. You are hungry, you have a couple of dollars, and you just want a simple snack. You point at the shelf and say, "I will take one chocolate donut and one glazed donut." So that makes two. But the baker is not a normal guy. He is a crazed, paranoid mathematician. He violently vaporizes your donuts and screams, "Wait, how do you logically know that 1 plus 1 makes 2? Prove it." You would probably look at him like he was completely insane. You have known 1 plus 1 equals 2 since you were literally wearing diapers. It is the most basic common sense in the entire universe. But back in the early 1900s, common sense was absolutely destroying the math world. Mathematicians realized that a lot of the math they were using to build bridges and understand the universe was just based on people saying, "Trust me, bro, it makes sense." They started finding massive logic holes, like the famous barber paradox. Imagine a town with one barber. The rule is, the barber shaves everyone who does not shave themselves. But wait, does the barber shave himself? If he does, then he breaks the rule. If he doesn't, then he must shave himself. This completely broke their brains. They realized they couldn't trust anything anymore, not even basic addition. So, two super geniuses named Bertrand Russell and Alfred North Whitehead decided to write a massive book to logically prove the entire universe of math from absolute scratch. Back in the bakery, the crazed baker tells you that before you can buy 2 donuts, you have to invent numbers. But you can't use numbers to invent numbers. You have to build them using absolute nothingness. In the mathematical world, this nothingness is called set theory. Think of a set as a cardboard box. If you have a box with absolutely nothing inside it, mathematicians call this the empty set. And congratulations, this perfectly empty, invisible box is how math legally defines the number 0. Now, how do you make the number 1? You take that empty 0 box, and you put it inside of another empty box. Look closely. The outer box is no longer empty. It contains exactly one item inside of it. You have just logically, scientifically invented the number 1 out of thin air, using nothing but imaginary cardboard. To invent the number 2, you just take your 1 box and a new 0 box, and shove them both into a brand new giant crate. You keep putting boxes inside of boxes inside of boxes to create every single number to infinity. This sounds completely unhinged, but this is exactly the insane logic used in their famous book, the Principia Mathematica. But defining the numbers was actually the easy part. They literally had to spend hundreds and hundreds of pages writing the absolute most strict, insane, bulletproof rules for how these invisible boxes are legally allowed to touch each other. They had to prove that the universe wouldn't collapse if you put the one box next to another one box. Finally, after doing the hardest, most grueling homework assignment in the history of human civilization, they reached page 379. They used all those crazy box rules to legally, undeniably prove that adding 1 to 1 makes 2. They did 300 pages of pure mathematical torture just to figure out what a toddler with building blocks already knows. But because they did it, modern computer science and advanced physics actually have a solid foundation to stand on. So the next time you go to the store to buy 2 donuts, be incredibly thankful you have a brain that understands common sense and a calculator on your phone so you don't have to invent the universe from scratch every time you get hungry. Smash that subscribe button right now before I make you logically prove the number 3 using invisible boxes.